'Tis I. Hey everyone, glad to see you back. Glad to see you looking fresh, and happy Oscar weekend. So the Oscars are coming up this Sunday, and I'm excited to watch them again. It feels like it's been forever since the last one, mostly because it was early last year, and of course it's late this year. But I just wanted to make a video talking about, like, what if I was on the voting committee? What if I got to vote on what won the Oscars? And I got the nominees in front of me here, and I'm going to go through them. I'm going to go through most of these categories. I haven't seen everything in every category. I've seen most things in most categories, though. However, I won't be talking about any of the shorts. I haven't really seen any shorts, either live action or animated or even documentary shorts. And so I will be skipping those because I have no say on anything. I don't know if any of them are bad. I don't know if any of them are amazing. I assume that they're probably pretty good because they're here at least, so I don't want to have to dump on one. I don't have to pick one out for no reason. So for that reason, I'll be skipping those. But for the rest of the categories, I know quite a bit about most, if not every movie that's included in there. So let's just get started. We got a lot of things to get through. Start off with Best Adapted Screenplay. So the nominees are Borat, The Father, Nomadland, One Night in Miami, and The White Tiger. So it's interesting enough that Borat is included in this, because it doesn't really seem like a film that screenplay plays a lot into. Nomadland's another one that I feel like people will talk a lot about, but again, that's one that really adapts more to the documentary feeling of the whole thing. It doesn't really play much into the fact of a screenplay as much. If it did, it really blends in quite well, but I don't think it deserves the win there. The other three, White Tiger feels a lot like Parasite, so I don't think being a derivative of a better movie deserves the win. So then The Father and One Night, I would give it to One Night in Miami, because The Father being, it's really good. I'm not saying it's bad, but One Night in Miami definitely got less nominations, so it deserves a little bit of a bump, I think. And it's just a straight up good screenplay. Like, without that screenplay, that movie's not much of anything. It's screenplay and acting prowess, and that's it. The Father has, like I said, the acting prowess. It has really good editing, and it has good sound and everything. So the One Night in Miami, I think, stands above the rest here. Do I think it's gonna win? No. I think The Father will probably win. That's my picks for those. For most of these, if I didn't mention it before, I'm going to be talking about if I could pick and what I think is going to win anyways. So my pick versus their pick. Sometimes it'll line up, a lot of the times it won't. So next up is the writing for original screenplay. We got Judas and the Black Messiah, Minari, Promising Young Woman, Sound of Metal, and A Child of Chicago 7. So again, all of these are really good. I'll straight up say all the screenplays of these are great. Honestly, I thought Judas and the Black Messiah was based on something. So it's interesting that it's not. Minari is good. I don't think the screenplay is the best part about that movie. Promising Young Woman, I do think the screenplay might be the best thing about that movie. Sound of Metal, again, I don't think is the best. And The Child of Chicago 7, the Aaron Sorkin script is excellent. So the thing is so my top two picks would be, top three, honestly, Judas and the Black Messiah, Promising Young Woman, and Child of Chicago 7. They're all excellent at their screenplay. Their writing is phenomenal in those. Minari and Sound of Metal are both great, don't get me wrong, but I don't think that's the best part about those, and I don't think they're as strong as the other three. Judas and the Black Messiah and The Child of Chicago 7 are based on real events, where Promising Young Woman isn't. So if I had to vote of the three of those, I would say that Promising Young Woman would be the best original screenplay. I'm being a bit semantic there, but that's be my pick, I would think, is Promising Young Woman. I'm going to go, I think that Child of Chicago 7 will win. I think Aaron Sorkin's a strong enough name. I think he's been a strong enough writer his entire career that I think that he will win that. So next up, we'll go visual effects. We have Love and Monsters, The Midnight Sky, Mulan, The One and Only Ivan, and Tenet. So I've seen all these as well. Love and Monsters is excellent. And for the budget it's on, it should win based on that, but if it was like visual effects per capita, then it's for sure that's the one that's gonna win. The Midnight Sky, I mean, it's pretty, but it doesn't do anything that blew my mind. Mulan, again, visually is interesting, It's got some neat effects and everything, but the movie overall just brings itself down. The one and only Ivan is an interesting pick. There's another Disney pick here. I do think that's like the best talking animal movie, visually anyways. That's not the best talking animal movie, period, but visually it is really good. I would say that the visual effects are the best part. Tenet, however, looks great. Tenet sounds great. I'm pretty sure it's in sound as well, but so my pick would be Love and Monsters. However, I think Tenet's gonna win, just bar none. I think this is one of the only things that Tenet got nominated for too, so I think that the Academy will be like, oh yeah, Tenet, that Christopher Nolan movie that came out over the summer. And Love and Monsters, like I said, I think should win. Budgetary, the design and everything is incredible of all the monsters in that. If you haven't seen Love and Monsters, go see Love and Monsters. It's one of the best films of last year. I know it wasn't on my list, but I hadn't seen it till like a couple weeks ago. So next up is Sound. We got Greyhound, Mank, News of the World, Soul, and Sound of Metal. The only one of these I haven't seen Greyhound yet. I've seen some of it. I haven't seen like the whole movie. I was a little bored, but it's all right. The sound of it's good. The sound of Mank is also really good. Just that 30s style. It sounds just like it'd be coming out of that. News of the World, interesting pick for sound. It doesn't sound bad. I just don't think it particularly interesting within the sound department. Soul, clearly, that's an easy one. And then Sound of Metal. So no, Tenet wasn't included in this. I'm surprised. My pick, and who I think is going to win, is Sound of Metal. I don't think it's even a competition. When you have a film based on a drummer going deaf, and the sound department is working so cohesively with the rest of the film, the sound department absolutely killed it, and they deserve the win. And I think they will win. Next up, we have production design. The Father, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, Mank, News of the World, and Tenet. The Father, I think, is good production design. It's very, like, standard. I mean, for a movie about a man going through dementia, I don't think you have to go outlandishly crazy with the production look. Contrast, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom is dripping in that its own style. The style of that film is what that film is. Mank, again, same kind of idea, is oozing in that 30s look. News of the World is a Western, and it looks like a Western, so that's good. Good for it. And Tenet, again, production design, it's very clean, very high-class looking movie. I don't think it's the best production design. I think, if I had to pick here, best production design, it's between Ma Rainey's and Mank. I would say Mank for production design. Who I think is gonna win, I honestly don't know. I think Mank might win this one too, just because it's a film about filmmaking and they love that kind of thing. So, and it could go to Ma Rainey's, but I think that Mank is the safe bet. It's my pick, and I think it'll be. Next up, we got the actors in a leading role. So we got Riz Ahmed for Sound of Metal, Chadwick Boseman for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, Anthony Hopkins in The Father, Gary Oldman in Mank, and Steven Yeun in Minari. This is a strong set of guys here. Riz Ahmed he's been in some good stuff before. Like, he was in a Star Wars, for instance. He was pretty good in that. And Chadwick Boseman, may he rest in peace, was great in Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. Anthony Hopkins is always fantastic, and he didn't stop that in The Father. Gary Oldman, same kind of deal. He was amazing in Mank. Steven Yeun is another big breakout performance. Obviously, he's been in other stuff, but he hasn't been in. I would pick the posthumous award for Chadwick Boseman. I get that, like, part of me is just saying that because of who he was. I think he deserves it. His performance was stellar in that movie. That movie wasn't particularly incredible, but his performance was particularly incredible. I do think that the Academy will pick Anthony Hopkins, and it's well-deserved, but my choice would be Chadwick Boseman. So, actor in a supporting role is up next. So we have Sacha Baron Cohen for The Trial of Chicago 7, Daniel Kaluuya in Judas and the Black Messiah. We got Leslie Odom Jr. for One Night in Miami, Paul Raci for Sound of Metal, and Lakeith Stanfield for Judas and the Black Messiah. Now, this is an interesting one, because both Judas and the Black Messiah, like, leads are in the supporting role, which is interesting, because when I watched it, I was like, Lakeith Stanfield is the star, and Daniel Kaluuya, obviously, is the supporting role. I think that just because the actor race was so tight that they stuck them both here. I think that's what the team was trying to pull off. And I do think that they're both great. I think Paul Raci's a weird one. He's not bad in the movie, but he wasn't a particular standout. Leslie Odom Jr. was good in One Night in Miami. I don't think he's the best in that movie, but I do think he's really good. My pick would be Sacha Baron Cohen for Charlotte's Chicago 7. I think he's incredible in that movie. I think he's an absolute standout. I think it's cool that Sacha got nominated for multiple films this year, especially in a year that we had so little to actually award. But I think Sacha is a standout of this year and a standout in that movie. But that'd be my pick. I think the Academy would pick. If I had to guess, it'd be one of the two from Judas and the Black Messiah. However, I think they might split the vote and it might go to someone else though, so it's tough. Either Daniel Kaluuya or Lakeith Stanfield, I think the Oscars will pick. Next, we have actress in a leading role. So we got Viola Davis for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. We got Andra Day for The United States versus Billie Holiday. Vanessa Kirby in Pieces of a Woman. Frances McDormand for Nomadland. And Carey Mulligan for Promising Young Woman. This is a very strong group of ladies here. So they got Viola Davis, and Ma Rainey was really good. I don't think she was the best. Andra Day is the only good part about that movie, United States versus Billie Holiday. It's not the worst movie you'll ever see, but it's not particularly great. Vanessa Kirby is really cool to see her, because I don't think Pieces of a Woman got any other nods, and that movie was really good. Frances McDormand in Nomadland, of course. Carey Mulligan, another standout this year. I was gunning for Vanessa Kirby for a long time. I thought she was the best out of all of these for a while. Carey Mulligan gave her a run for money. However, something about Vanessa Kirby in that movie, without her performance in that movie, I don't think it'd be as good as it is. So my pick is Vanessa Kirby. I know it's a bit of a strange one. I think the Academy is just going to give it to Frances McDormand because that's the easy pick. No hate to Frances. She's fantastic. And she's won her awards in the past, and she's deserved those awards in the past. But I don't think Nomadland is particularly great overall. And while she is good in it, don't get me wrong, she's not the best of these five. She's not the best of the year. So if I had to pick Vanessa Kirby for the winner, Carey Mulligan a close second, but I do think the Academy's just going to give it to Frances regardless. Actress in supporting roles, up next we have Maria Bakalova for Borat 2. I'm not going to read that whole thing. If they read the whole thing during the show, I'm going to lose my mind. It's like the longest title. For a goof, I get it, but it's going to blow my mind, and it's going to drive me nuts. Glenn Close in Hillbilly Elegy, Olivia Colman in The Father, Amanda Seyfried for Mank, and Yoo Jong-yeon for Minari. I hope I said that one correctly as well. This is a lot stranger grouping than the leading ones. Yoo Jong for Minari was good, but I don't think she was the best here. I did not like Glenn Close in Hillbilly Elegy. I get it. She's Glenn Close, but that movie was kind of bad. And her performance didn't really help it. Didn't really save it or anything. Maria, was good in Borat. It's strange she got picked. I don't think she was the best, though. It's between, for me, Olivia Colman and Amanda Seyfried. I would pick Amanda Seyfried. She'd be my choice. I think the Academy might pick Olivia Colman again, though. She was great in that movie. I remember when Olivia Colman won for The Favorite, and basically her speech ended with, "Don't expect to see this again." I think she might have got it again. Honestly, I think the Academy might pick her. I would pick Amanda Seyfried. I think she was fantastic in Mank. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. So, animated feature film is up next. We got Onward, Over the Moon, A Shaun the Sheep, the movie, Armageddon. We got Soul, and we got Wolfwalkers. Fortunately, I haven't seen Wolfwalkers yet. I've been trying to get to it. I haven't had enough time to get to it yet. I'll probably watch it tonight, honestly. I've seen some of it. It's really, really pretty. Onward is really good. I don't think in a more packed year of films, Onward would be on here. It's the lesser of the two Pixars, but it's interesting. It's really good. I think it's overshadowed by its better brother, but Over the Moon is kind of cute. It's nothing spectacular, but it's kind of a cute movie. A Shaun the Sheep movie, if I'm again another kind of thing. It's cute. I think the first Shaun the Sheep movie far surpasses this one. And then Soul. Soul would be my pick. Soul would be the Academy's pick. Soul's going to win. Maybe this is the surest bet I have. that Soul's gonna win. It's a joke every year that Pixar is just gonna win the best animated film, and Soul was just straight up the best this year, so it's not even a contest. While I would say absolutely go check out the other ones if you're interested, they're worth your time. Soul's gonna win this one for sure. Cinematography. This is a fun one. We got Judas and the Black Messiah, Mank, News of the World, Nomadland, and The Trial of Chicago 7. All of these, I think, have good cinematography. I think they all look really good. I think News of the World, particularly, that is part of where this movie shines. Mank is really good because it looks exactly like it's supposed to. Judas and the Black Messiah, looks great, obviously. Trial of Chicago 7, I think looks about as good as Judas and the Black Messiah. I think they both look great. Nomadland, this is where I can give my hat to Nomadland. Nomadland looks beautiful. It's gorgeous. So I would pick News of the World, honestly, over Nomadland. I think Nomadland will win. It's deserved. I'm not hating on it. I do think that News of the World is a little better. I like that Western aesthetic a little more than the nomad look of Nomadland. Costume design is Emma, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, Mank, Mulan, and Pinocchio. So this is a weird group. You always have your period dramas like your Emma in there. Mulan is not really a period drama, but it's a period piece. So I think costume design, it comes down, I think, to Ma Rainey's or Emma. So Emma, obviously, the thing is, like, those lavish dresses, they always look good. The people who do it always do the best kind of work. I think it's just kind of expected at this point, which is a little sad. Ma Rainey's, though, with the makeup and everything, and that film, every character looks sweaty and looks exactly in that time period. I think Ma Rainey's where it's at. I think Emma will win, deservingly so, but I think that Ma Rainey's a little bit better in that department. So for directing, we have Thomas Vinterberg for Another Round, David Fincher for Mank, Lee Isaac Chung in Minari, Chloe Zhao in Nomadland, Emerald Fennell in Promising Young Woman. Another Round's an interesting one to begin here. The rest are kind of standard, Best Picture nominees and everything. I think for Best Directing overall, I think Emerald Fennell does really good, Promising Young Woman. I think David Fincher for Mank, for me. Chloe Zhao and Lee Isaac Chung does good too, but Chloe Zhao, the kind of thing is like, we're working with real people, and I guess you could make the argument that that'd be harder and therefore more impressive, but the film is kind of like a documentary in that it doesn't force people to do things they're not typically doing, so I would go with Mank. I think that Mank will win too, honestly. I think that's a good one. David Fincher. I love David Fincher too. That might just be my bias talking, but I think that's the way to go on that one. We got Best Film Editing. So The Father, Nomadland, Promising Young Woman, Sound of Metal, and Trial of Chicago 7. The thing is, you're going to hear a lot about a lot of these already. The Father is excellent in this department. Nomadland is good, but that's not where that movie shines per se. Promising Young Woman is great at film editing. Sound of Metal is excellent at film editing. And Trial of Chicago 7 is also excellent. I think Trial of the Chicago 7 is the one that comes to my mind first. I think The Father will win, and deservedly so. Everything but Nomadland, I think, would be fine. I'd be totally fine with winning this category. Makeup and hairstyling. We have Emma, Hillbilly Elegy, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, Mank, and Pinocchio. This is an easy one for me. I think Ma Rainey's Black Bottom is where that one should go. Again, like I said, the style of that movie is oozing. It's dripping that South bluesy look. It's incredible. Hillbilly's Elegy, I get why that's here. Emma, again, would deserve it. Mank is really good. And Pinocchio, yeah, understandable. But I think Ma Rainey deserves it. I think that they will pick Emma again. I think that they will be like, yes, Emma is good. Look at that hair on Emma. It's good. It is good, but I don't think it deserves to win. For Best Music, The Five Bloods, Mank, Minari, News of the World, and Soul. All these are really good, and it's weird that this is the only place that The Five Bloods pops up, but it's got a great score. Mank's got a great score. Minari's got a great score. News of the World, I would pick. That was the only movie I was actively like, whoa, this score is incredible. I think it's just that the difference, though, from where the score is to where the rest of the movie is. So that movie's just it's good, but it's nothing special. The score really carried that. Soul, I think, will win. I mean, understandable. It's a music-based movie, so if it wins, is deserving. I would pick News of the World. They're gonna pick Soul. That'd be my guess. For Best Original Song, we have Fight For You from Judas and the Black Messiah, Hear My Voice from the Trial of Chicago 7, Husavik from Eurovision Song Contest, the Story of Fire Saga, UFC from The Life Ahead, and Speak Now from One Night in Miami. I've heard all of these songs, and to be honest with you, I don't really remember any of them. So I'm going to pick Speak Now from One Night in Miami, because I like Leslie Odom Jr., and probably that's going to win. Fight For You from Black Messiah was really good. Hear My Voice isn't bad, but I think Speak Now that's the best one of the 5. So then, rounding out, we have the Best Picture nominees. We got The Father, Judas and the Black Messiah, Mank, Minari, Nomadland, Promising Young Woman, Sound of Metal, and The Trial of the Chicago 7. So, it's basically like, what's my favorite? What's the best one here? Objectively speaking, I think that Nomadland is the weakest. I know a lot of people love that movie, and a lot of people are going to come after me for saying that, but Nomadland was the weakest. Above that is everyone else. The thing is, with the Best Picture nominees is, like, my pick never wins. Even last year, I was like, Parasite's not going to win just because of the way it is, just the way they're voting on. And I had, like, 4 other votes that I was totally happy with winning. And Parasite won, which is good for them. My pick, I think, would still be... I mean, it's tough. I think Trial of Chicago 7, I think, is the best. It was my favorite movie of last year. Before I watched the rest of them to get ready for the Oscars, you saw it on my top 20 list. It was number 1. It would still be extremely high, if not number 1 there now. I've seen more movies since then. I don't know what would have beaten it, but just the way the script goes, the pacing is fantastic, the performances are excellent, the story as a whole is so good. I love Trial of Chicago 7. I know it's kind of fun to hate on it. I've seen a lot of people dumping on the movie for some reason, but that is my pick. I think Trial of Chicago 7 is the best of these ones. What will win is a completely other story. I don't think Trial of Chicago 7 will win. I think Nomadland has a higher chance of winning than Trial of Chicago 7. What will win, I think, is the safest bet is The Father or Mank. So one of those two. If I had to put money on it, I'd say The Father's probably going to win. The rest of these are interesting picks. Obviously, the other safe bet would be Nomadland. The two, like, I don't want to say Father's boring. It's not boring, but it's not as fast-paced and interesting as the other ones. And also people would say Mank is kind of boring, and it is a little, but just the style of the whole thing, I think, really helps it along. So please, let me know what you guys think. Who do you think is going to win each category that I talked about? Who do you think is going to win the whole shebang? Who do you think is going to win the most? Anything you want to talk to me about, please do. As always, like I say, like this if you like this, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you at some point.